Hello everybody and welcome back to Oakfield Farm. So what I've just done is I've put the bale shredder into the shed here instead of leaving it in the main cow shed, because I didn't really think that would be a very good thing to do. The other thing I've done is I've put the combine harvester away in here. The header needs to be put away as well, but there it is, as you can see. So that's keeping dry for another year, or 10 months or so. That is strange. I need to move that front weight. Yes. But for the time being we'll keep the door shut. And finally, I think all we have to do is go and close the gate for the cows, unless I've already done it, I can't remember. That gate there can stay open because the door for the shed is closed, so the cows can't get through. Yes, this is still open. So once this is closed, the cows are done for today. And I actually did have a few questions regarding seasons and the reason why we don't actually have a reproduction on the sheep. As far as I'm aware, seasons restricts this to only reproduce in the spring. And if that is the case, then that is brilliant because obviously, well, sheep don't reproduce all year round. The same with the wool. They have to now grow their coats for the winter, otherwise they're going to be very cold. They'll just be skin, and yeah, it would be very chilly. So we don't produce any wool. They also don't reproduce at this time of year. The other thing is I've actually updated seasons, you'll be pleased to know. It's taken a while, but yes, I've updated it. So now I have the economy section. And as you can see, the price for many things is actually atrocious at the moment. It's just not the time of year to sell stuff. The best time of year seems to be the spring for wool. It is good at the end of winter. In fact, it really does go up, as you can see here. But spring seems to be the time for it. As for wheat, barley, canola, that kind of thing, it's currently terrible. Just really bad, but we have sold some, so that's probably going to affect it. Silage seems to be the same all year round, so no problems there. Bales are very similar too. Cows, interestingly, we're not going to sell any, but cows are the best at the beginning of winter, and sheep in the spring. Yeah, as they're being born, as the lambs come out. So yeah, today what we're going to do, because we have 3 days of autumn left, is we're going to get cracking with the re-drilling of the fields. We're going to replant them. I should say, yeah, just drilling of the field, not re-drilling. The reason why we need to do it quickly is because despite it being autumn in 2 days' time, it's actually going to snow, apparently. So it might not be anything, it could just be a flurry, but it is still going to snow, according to the weather forecast, if it's correct. So if I just go over here, we'll grab the John Deere, and we'll use that for the drilling. It just seems to be the best tractor for it. I think I put it over here, but it could have been left in a field somewhere. Either way though, we're going to go and find it. Oh, it is here, good. So we'll put that door up, we'll close this door, jump in, get it started up. Fuel, yeah, we should probably refuel. We have quite a bit to do with it. Quite a lot of work. So it does need to be fully refueled. Right, the drill. Haven't used it for a while, but it's going to have a lot of use very soon. Where did I put it? It should be under cover. Not here. There it is. I've just walked past it. Right, I'll try and square up first, because otherwise when I try and pull out of here it might crash into the barn. There we go. And yeah, it's got some stuff in it. I've already crashed it. Probably not the best place for it, actually. That should do. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we're going to refill it to the top with everything. We've got loads of money, so there's no shortage there. Firstly, we've got the seed, and then the fertiliser. You fill them both up from the same place, just here. The other tank is simply liquid fertiliser, which I didn't realise at the beginning of the series, but thankfully, I know now. Oh, that's close. So first of all, we've got the fertiliser. And hopefully it just automatically swaps over to seed. Let's just see. There we go. And the fuel tank is just there. It's expensive. Canola, I should call it oilseed rape actually. Oilseed rape is what it's called in the UK, or rapeseed oil, or oilseed, or whatever, whatever you want. Yeah, that is what we're going to plant because it's the right time of year for it. We could also do winter wheat if we wanted to, but the problem is canola, oilseed rape. Shall I just call it OSR? It's probably easier. OSR does need to be done first. Now the field we're going to do first, I would say, is going to be the really tight field. Field number 9, just over here. That has to be oilseed rape really because it was wheat before. I wasn't going to repeat OSR in the same field, just because we've already had that. If it was a wheat it would be alright because we could do second wheat, but I'm not sure, but I don't think you tend to do oilseed rape 2 years running. Refilling. I should have the engine off, otherwise I'm bound to get people commenting. I did do on Dusty Cove, so it's bound to happen again. And probably after all the drilling we'll wash the tractor. No point doing it before. Right, that's pretty much it. 605 litres. The problem with this is it's quite a big job, so it is going to take a while. I'm hoping to get a worker to do quite a bit of it, but it really does depend on the shape of the field and how intelligent the worker is going to be. Apparently there is also an improvement mod for the worker system. I've never used it. I probably should do. Sounds good. Very heavy as well, this. But the good thing is, because it is big, we can get things done much quicker. I would also like to cultivate and plough every now and then. We don't have to do it all the time. We can do min-till or direct drill. It is certainly quicker, but yeah, ploughing is better as we get the 10% extra when it comes to selling each crop. Now field number 9 should be a very quick field to do. It is tiny, there's no other word for it, it's a tiny field, and this is a big drill. So if we can just get this done in a few minutes, that would be brilliant. Then we can move on to a headland of another field and then set the worker going, if the worker can manage it. If the worker can manage it, we'll try and do a different job as well. What I'm hoping to do is feed the cows with some silage and also possibly sell some more silage. As we now know, the price of silage is the same all year round, so we don't have anything to wait for at all. Right, this is a tight entrance. Ooh, and that is a big mound. It actually might be better to get in from the other way. The other direction. Come on, you can do it. Yes, we're in. Before we go anywhere, I'm just jump out of here because we do need to shut the gate. It is in the way, so just close it. Good. Anyway, yeah, it was only in the previous episode I mentioned doing the video about Farming Simulator 19, what the fans would like to see in the game, and the video went down pretty well from what I could make out. There was obviously a few people who wanted to see some other stuff in that list, but what you've got to remember is that list was only the top 10. There were tons of suggestions, tons and tons of different more minor things that could be done to the game. Some of them, which were very close to making it to the top 10, was interactive controllers standard, which I totally agree with. Let me just get this set up. Sorry, wrong crop. Good start. There we go. Yeah, that could have been disastrous. The other things were, which almost hit number 10, being able to strap machinery to transport trailers. That was super close. I think that was number 11. So that almost made it to the top 10. In a way, I'm kind of glad that it did come in position 11, because number 10 was very important to me. A better admin system for the game, for multiplayer, because multiplayer's admin system is fairly weak, and I think if that hadn't been brought to the light, it would have been, well, it wouldn't have been very good, because obviously, as you can already see, I don't run my multiplayer server anymore for FS17 because it was a disaster, as the admin system was so weak. So basically, if it isn't improved, it will unlikely return for FS19, because why run a server which just gets wrecked continually? Anyway, I won't get onto that again because I know that is a really painful topic to listen to and talk about. But yeah, I mean, I am pleased that it did come at number 10. But yeah, being able to strap machinery to transport trailers would be brilliant. It really would be. I'm assuming that would be put in because they've already done it for bales. You wouldn't have thought it would be too hard for machinery, but I can't say. I'm not a modder. I don't make the game. All I know is giants do work very hard. So, I mean, as long as they keep up the high standard of work which they do now, the next game, whatever is put in, as far as I can see, is going to be good. I think there was a very fair point about the dynamic ground system, which actually came at number 1. For example, 3D furrows, being able to dig up soil and stuff. Somebody said, and it had a lot of likes, if it's going to be done, if dynamic soil is going to be done, it has to be done properly, and I totally agree. If it isn't done properly, then the game runs the risk of feeling a bit clunky and maybe going back a step. Because at the moment we have a ground system which actually works pretty well. It's 2D, but it works very well. It's not annoying in any way. Whereas if it was a 3D system and maybe, for example, tractors were getting stuck unnecessarily in dry ground and making deep ruts when it isn't even wet, then that could become frustrating. Likewise, if you're driving tractors in a field and it leaves a bit of a rut where the tyres have run, it doesn't want to be too dramatic if it's a dry field. Obviously, if it's a wet field, you could get stuck, but if it's a dry field, then it can't be over the top. It needs to be subtle as well, if you know what I mean. But the comments which are left about that, they did get a lot of recognition, so I think most people agree with that comment anyway. But really, I think all we can do now is leave it to Giants. They can decide what they do and what they don't want to put into the game. It's totally up to them, it's their game. But I think it is good that they can hear the suggestions and feedback of the fans of the game. It's very important. So yeah, we'll leave it to them and we'll wait for an announcement video. Hopefully it won't be too long. But we don't even know that FS19 is coming this year. But all we can do is go by the trend of the previous years. It's every 2 years in October roughly. And well, basically if it isn't this October, it'll be the first time ever there hasn't been an FS 2 years following the previous one. That is the field done, and while doing this job I actually thought of something else. Basically, it would be wise if we can get some more hay made, because we only have I think 2 hay bales left and we've got the entire winter to get through. So without the hay we can't keep the sheep alive, and for that matter we can't really keep the cows in high productivity either. So we're going to head down here to the right, if I can do. It's going to be quite tight, but it is possible. Let's jump out again. Shut the gate. I don't think we're going to have to go back into this field again until next year. when it starts to grow properly. But yes, what I've decided, I had a good think about this while recording the drilling there. This field obviously is oilseed rape. The one behind us, which is field number 13, that's going to be spring barley, so we can actually plant that next year. And the one over here, field number 34, that can be winter wheat, so that needs to be planted in the autumn as well. But this field, let's just say yes, there is some grass there, so we can turn that into hay bales. That would be a very good idea. So I think, although I said I should do the headlands first, what we should do is actually put the drill back for today. We do still have 3 more days that we can do this, and really to start things off properly with the hay, we have to cut the grass now. So you can see the weather forecast. We've got Thursday tomorrow, which is cloudy, but if we can actually bale the hay that day, let it dry out today, then yes, we should be able to get everything done before it rains or snows or whatever it's deciding to do. Then the Saturday, the final day of autumn, we can finish off in field number 34 doing the winter wheat. And then obviously we can leave number 13 until the spring. So that should all work. I'm hoping it will do. I'm not too worried about putting the drill away in a barn, because we're going to use it again straight away after we have done the grass cutting, which will be in tomorrow's video. But it's not going to rain between now and then, so it's not even going to get wet, so it's not a problem. In fact, what we could do is we could put it into field number 50, just here. Our storage yard. Or that barn there. Here's field 50. Just park it up here. Right. I probably shouldn't have turned the engine off so soon. Good. That's all done. So that is our wool storage. As you can see, we've got quite a bit in here. Potentially a lot of money. That is all we're going to get though. We can't get any more until next year. So that's what we will be selling. Not a great deal, but it's still a decent amount. Just shut the gate. And we'll jump into Ibid Massey Ferguson with the mowers. We're going to have to put the mowers back on again. There's the front mower, the rear mower is around the corner. And yeah, the Massey Ferguson is around the corner too. So here it is. Drop the shredder off. Reverse into the barn up here, which is where the rear mower should be. Okay, it must be the next barn, I suppose, unless I put it in a different shed entirely. Okay, I definitely took it off somewhere. Oh, I know where it was, it's around here. There it is. Now it shouldn't be too heavy that it lifts the front of the tractor up. Sometimes it would be advisable to put the front mower on first, but I think I have done it in this order before. Didn't seem to be a problem. Although having said that, it isn't light. Right, if there's going to be a problem here, it's going to be the height of the mowers when we go in here to pick up the front mower. They shouldn't have to go in so far, but it's always a risk. Right, we're all set. Let's go. Let's go and cut the field up here. The field which I have forgotten the number of. Let's just take a look. Field number 8. I don't think we need to cut field 16 because field number 8 should really produce enough bales for us. It is a fairly big field. I'm quite surprised about how low that front mower is. It's almost hitting the ground. Anyway, as long as it gets to the field, it doesn't really matter. Let's head up there, let's get it cut, and then it can begin to dry. Obviously once it's dry, we'll turn it over, then row it up, then bale it, and then as quickly as possible we're going to have to get those hay bales under cover. The grass bales rot, but the hay bales don't if you put them under cover. We probably won't get as much productivity off the field, as much yield as we have done before. We haven't put the third application on, mainly because I actually didn't think we'd be able to get the third cut. It didn't look to be growing very much. But next year we'll put another application of fertiliser on, and it should really boost that productivity. Right, yeah, it's looking a bit thin. Grass has slowed down growing. I'll do my usual trick of doing the headlands first, then we go across the field, and hopefully that'll conclude everything. All we need to do now is leave it to dry in whatever sun we have left. There isn't much sun, it's fairly weak, but it should still be enough just to dry it out enough so we can turn it over and finally bale it up and put it in storage. But it actually looks fairly neat. I think we have done well to get the third cut out of it. Let me just check the fertiliser map. I wonder how fertilised actually is. Yeah, it's it's not the best, but it is fertilised, so it could be much worse. So I think to finish off, we're going to have to go back to the yard, just park up, and then tomorrow we'll try and ted it and bale it in the same day. I know it's going to be pushing it, but we really do have to get it done. It's a race against the clock. I think actually this shed down the bottom here is quite a good place to put stuff. I've actually filled the sheds at the top there quite a lot. I mean, they're packed full. It would be nice to have a bit more space. So using this one as it is ours makes perfect sense. Put it in if it does fit. Let me just check. The height again could be a slight problem. Yeah, that is too tall, but I can get around that just about. Oh no, don't do that. I was hoping you would just lower down. Okay, it's not going to fit. Great. We could unfold it. But yeah, there's not much point in messing around. I wonder if it fits in... It might fit in here. I did say before that it might not do. It does. Right, well, we'll put that there. We'll put the front mower back in, well, we'll put it over here, where the rear mower came from originally. And we'll call it a day. So thank you for watching, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and until next time, see you again very soon. Bye for now.